With the addition of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, Marvel Rivals has a pretty solid roster of characters with unique playstyles. And I am here to offer a playstyle that isn't common to see in video games. So sit back and listen to my concept of how I would make Friday for Marvel Rivals. When the only person you can count on is yourself. But there are jobs everywhere that you need to do. Then why limit yourself to just one body? So, the main feature of this character is they are 3 drones all at once. This character will be touching each class type, but I am labeling the whole of this character a Vanguard because you're adding more bodies for the enemies to shoot instead of your team. Each drone has a name and a role. We've got Wendy as the Vanguard, Mo as the Strategist, and Sunny the Duelist. But all of the drones have these main features and abilities. Like, the ultimate hands-on management is shared between all of them. They all have full flight like Iron Man or Storm. Switching between the other drones is done with the 1, 2, and 3 keys. And their F ability is Follow, a command that makes the drone you are currently controlling lock on to the targeted ally and follow them when you are not controlling them. The follow resets back to Friday if the ally or the drone dies. And speaking of death, with the orbital array Friday controls, whenever a drone dies, a replacement drops from orbit next to whichever drone Friday is controlling when they respawn. The drones take about the same time to respawn as other characters, but they get to the battlefield much quicker because they're dropped right onto it. But if all drones are dead, then the first to respawn will respawn in the normal respawn room. And if the drone Friday is controlling dies, you automatically transfer to another drone. You are in the action much quicker, but at the cost of information from the kill cam. All the drones are unique, but when you are controlling them, that is when they are labeled Friday for the other drones to follow and support you. And now, on to what makes these girls unique. Let's start with Wendy. Big and sturdy, Wendy is the Vanguard. Her design is larger than Iron Man and has these bulky arms with heavy crane claw hands. She also has a mono-eye visor. Helping hands. Her primary and secondary act the same. Each button sends out that hand to attach to another character. Allies get a little bubble that reduces damage. The hand is on the bubble and pointing towards Wendy, which can be shot by enemies to remove it and put it on a repair cooldown. If a hand attaches to an enemy, they are slowed, and the same hand weak spot system can be shot by other enemies. But if both hands are on an enemy, they are fully stunned until a hand is removed. And a double-grabbed ally has the damage resist doubled and is immune to CC. Swing. Wendy's melee weapon changes depending on how many hands you have free. No hands free means she cannot melee. 1 hand free makes her swing her hand like a flail in an arc in front of her. Both hands free makes her swing both hands forward to slam together and make a sweet spot for extra damage. Booster. Her shift gives her a short boost like dash in the direction she is currently moving. Enemies hit by the dash are knocked out of the way, and the dash insta-destroys terrain so you can bash open paths for your allies. Satellite Laser. Wendy's E move makes her throw out a sticky little beacon that after a short duration has the satellite fire a laser at that beacon. Perfect when you have someone double grabbed but no allies around to shoot them. Next up, we have Mo, the one doing the jobs that nobody wants. So of course, she is a strategist. Her design is a bit more rounded and has no separated legs. only a large thruster. She has a happy expression for her visor. Mist Missile. Her primary fire is to shoot a missile that leaves behind a healing mist. It explodes on contact with terrain, and if it hits an ally, they will leave behind mist where they go for a short duration. Shock Missile. Her secondary is a shock missile that electrifies mist as it flies through it. It sticks into anything and produces electrical waves for a short time after it has stuck into something. Hurry. Mo has the unique passive of when they are not shooting, they fly around like Iron Man during hypervelocity. Using her shift instantly puts her into flight mode and creates a large cloud of healing mist around her. Satellite Flare. Mo's E throws out a sticky beacon that calls down a flare from the satellite that blinds all enemies that look at it. Allies were provided flare-proof lenses from Stark Industries. And now, the last of the three is Sunny, the quick and faithful duelist. She has 4 arms and a nimble form. She has a 4-eyed visor. Charge Repulsors. Her primary and secondary shoot the hands on each side. Instead of reloading, they have a heat mechanic and can be rapidly shot, and it doesn't add much heat. But you can hold down the buttons to charge up a shot between both hands on that side for a bigger shot that explodes. But going full power will add too much heat, and you will need to let that side cool down. Mode Switch. Her shift ability allows her to switch between Scout Mode and Stealth Mode. Scout Mode is faster than Stealth Mode, but Stealth Mode allows her to go completely invisible. You can even shoot or charge up her repulsors in Stealth Mode. You won't lose stealth from shooting, but if you overheat, your invis will shimmer and suffer. Satellite Scan. Finally, Sunny's E throws out a sticky beacon that tells the satellite to periodically scan that area to ping enemies and items like if a health pack is up or not. Now that you have heard about each drone, I will now go into detail on how each drone follows an ally. Wendy will constantly try to have a hand on the selected ally and will shield nearby allies or slow nearby enemies. Mo will follow behind the ally and try to keep shooting them to keep the mist up on them. And Sunny will follow next to the ally and shoot wherever the ally shoots, even charging up one side during downtime. None of the drones can use their abilities, so it's your job as Friday to keep bouncing between the drones to maximize their abilities. Each drone is named after a day in the week, since their core character is Friday. And you just have to delete letters to get the drone names. Wendy is for Wednesday, because it's right in the middle and is a sign of things are gonna get better, but after a little work. Mo is the first part of Monday, because you need to get through Monday before anything else. You gotta get it done. Sunny is for Sunday, because you get to blow off some steam or relax. And Stu is for Saturday, because everyone looks forward to Saturday. Oh, I didn't describe Stu? Stu is the drone that gets summoned with the ultimate. Did you think I would stop after making 3 drones? Heck no! Meet Stu! The Hulkbuster. She is large and in charge when on the battlefield. She has a triangle eye visor. When you use the ultimate, you throw down a sticky beacon, and then Stu drops from orbit with you controlling the drop. You can even pop the drop pod early, since Stu flies just like the other drones in Iron Man. When the pod pops, she says for all to hear, "Management has arrived!" You cannot switch to other drones while Stu is alive. I'm also designing her to have no time limit, but that can be changed if Stu truly is unbalanced. Laser. Her primary is the laser, large and slow eradication repulsor. A beam that has no ammo or heat. It only gets stronger the longer you keep it going. But it also gets slower to move the more you keep it going, till you cannot move it without turning it off. Grab/throw. Her secondary is to put her hand out and grab the first thing it touches. If it's an ally, Stu holds them close to her chest and protects them. You can also push it again to release them, or hold the button to wind up a throw. If you grab an enemy, though, you slowly crush them, and the throw is not as friendly as with allies. Rocket. Her shift puts her thrusters to full power, and she uses her arm laser as more propulsion. You can use grab while flying to maybe quickly save an ally, or grab an unlucky enemy. While flying, it has no fuel gauge, and enemies you have grabbed will be dragged against terrain if you are close enough. Meteor. Stu's F ability turns off her thrusters and sends her towards the ground. Upon impact, she deals damage and knockback based on distance traveled, so get friendly with a Doctor Strange for a crazier combo. If you are holding an enemy during Meteor, they will be put between Stu and the impact. If you get a kill, she will say, "Problem solved. Iced." Volley. Stu's E ability is where she locks onto all visible enemies and launches a volley of missiles. You can use this ability during any other ability. Ta-da! That is my whole concept for Friday and her squad of girls. It would be amazing if this got added, and a mega extra bonus if I got to voice them. Or really anyone in Marvel Rivals. I'm not picky. I would love to thank my artist friends, Marshy and Kiri, for doing the doodles of this concept. Without it, it'd be very boring to watch. You can find their info in the description. But thank you all for watching. And you know the YouTube thing. Subscribe, like, share this with your friends, make a comment.